in France and in India, okay? And what makes that possible? Well, jet travel makes that possible. I'm physically in Delhi right now, okay? But like, I'm in Delhi this week. I'm not scheduled to go on NDTV. I was on NDTV with Barka Dutt. I'll show you the clip in a minute. When Obama was here, but I was broadcast from Paris because Barka knows me, because, okay? So I don't have to physically be here to comment on Indian television. I don't have to physically be in the US to comment on US television, okay? Or to write for any of the outlets for which I write. I'm a contributing editor to the Caravan magazine here in India. I've published in Pahelka, Seminar, Outlook, okay? I publish in the United States. I published in Slate magazine, the Washington Post, Los Angeles Times, International Herald Tribune, Yale Global, all kinds of publications in the US. I publish in French. In France, I write a regular column called The Word from India, Le Mot du Land, and I write for Le Monde Diplomatique. Sometimes those articles are translated from French into English, but I write them in French because I'm bilingual. I don't have to be in a particular location to do any of that. And why? What makes it possible for me to have an international presence as a journalist? The internet. Absolutely, the internet. When I first started doing this, the first opinion piece I published was in the Los Angeles Times, and it was on the international emergence of the far right. The BJP was coming up in India. Pat Buchanan was running for president in the United States, and Jörg Haider, a right-wing guy, was running in Austria. And so I talked about this. Isn't it interesting that this is happening in all these different countries, and why? And I wrote this piece, and a friend who knew the opinion editor at the Los Angeles Times gave me the fax number for the person. This is before email, okay? Because I'm much, much, much older than I look, I hope. Okay? And so this was in the fax era, and I sent my little article by fax to the editor, who read it and faxed me back. And then eventually, I think we might have spoken on the phone, I don't remember. Now, of course, with email, it's so easy. You send it. Oh, is a power cut?
Go ahead.
Okay. You send everything by email. You can send attachments. You can do everything. And then once, of course, you've done the work, and the work is published or broadcast, it goes back up on the internet. And then that, of course, becomes part of your brand. You send that around. Now, there are different ways that I keep myself alive, as it were, in terms of a media presence. All right? One is I have a website. Almost everybody these days has a website. It's pretty easy to set one up. And everybody who is an author or involved in media in any kind of a quote-unquote freelance capacity has a website. And then often people who aren't freelance also have their own websites now. So here is my website. And this is over here. Okay, so I have this little about. Let's go to the home. Mouse is a little tricky, huh?
It's easier if you just look at the computer screen.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's go to home. Okay. So my home page, my latest book, who I am, and then look what I have down here: Twitter updates. And I just posted something this morning because I just received by email this morning from New York a link to a thing that I did for the Asia Society, which is a major cultural organization on Asia in New York, on Valentine's Day in India, and then someone else did something on the Philippines. So this was up yesterday, was Valentine's Day, right? This is very happening now. All right? And here you have a picture. Can we adjust? You have a picture of a billboard in Bombay, in Mumbai, as it's called now. There we go. And do we have audio to clip this?
Valentine's Day is very interesting in India because it was something that 10 years ago you just never saw a trace of anywhere, whereas now around Valentine's Day, especially in the major cities and even in the tier 2 cities, you see red hearts and ribbons and chocolate boxes and restaurants offering special Valentine's dinners and things like that. And that just